Okay, let me get this paperwork together. Okay, I think I'm good. Oh my God, do. Somebody please say it ain't so. Thank y'all for tuning in to Docs Daily, where you get your daily news from your boy Sean Blazy. Ha ha ha. But ain't nothing funny though. Look, y'all, I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. I'm not trying to make you believe something that may not be true. But I've been hearing a whole lot of talk, and people been hitting me up on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. Everybody is talking about Mystical sacrificed his sister for fortune and fame. I started doing my research. And I can understand why people say that, but it's not my place to say that he did or didn't do something, meaning that I don't know Mystical, but it sure as hell seemed like something was strange about the way his sisters passed. And a lot of these celebrities, right before they get on, right before they sell millions of records, somebody real close to them die in the most tragic ways. Your boy Honeycomb Brazy not that long ago, grandparents' house got shot up. I mean, I can go down the list. People talking about he be using magic. That's why they call him mystical. I know you probably looking like this is a whole bunch of foolishness, but best believe I'm about to take y'all all the way through it. You just got to stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification button as well. Now, before I get started, I don't want to believe that celebrities make sacrifices and do crazy stuff to their family members to get famous because I don't think that's nowhere in human nature for somebody to do something so malicious like that. So, Mystical, if you listening, I'm not saying that you did anything. We just having a conversation about what people are saying in the streets. Now, you famous and you understand people gonna talk. So that's all we doing here today. Me personally, I don't like to believe that these celebrities do this type of stuff, but it just don't add up to where all these people got similar stories before they get famous. It's a non-stop thing. I can't think of not one rapper that didn't have somebody die tragically before they got signed. Now, I can go down the list, but I'm going to save that for a whole nother video. I'm still going to be a fan of Mystical, and I believe his talent is so great that he was destined to be famous, but it's a whole lot of talented people out here, and I dare say more talented than Mystical, and they ain't got no contract, but that's Negro here nor there. We about to get into the news, man. I'm going to need y'all to hit them like button, subscribe to the channel. I see Smart Cookie in the building. I mean, Cookie Dough in the building. My bad. Bad Girl Marie, the first lady of this channel, is in the building. Show her some love. Make sure you join the channel so you can leave comments in the comment section and join our conversation. But man, look, without further ado, y'all know what I'm about to do. Let's get into this news. Listen to Mystical speaking about his humble beginnings and how he got in the rap game. And throughout the commentary, I'm going to stop and do my own commentary to fill y'all in on what I'm thinking so we can have a beautiful conversation about this. Got so much love for y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this Docs Daily.
Sorry, yeah, we was too strong, too strong.
No, I feel you. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, first
You're
of all.
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so at what point did you decide that military wasn't for you?
As soon as the guys that I recorded my first demo with at home, as soon as they made a record, I knew fuck this on this shit. It's time to go be a rapper, man. As soon as I left, they made a record. I'm like, what the fuck?
So for those of y'all that don't know, you can watch the Vlad interview and everything, but we gonna walk through this together so we can elaborate on it as a family. So Mystical was in the Army before he started rapping. I mean, before his career took off. He was rapping before he went to the Army, but before his career took off, he was really a soldier in the Army. So when he talking about No Limit Soldiers, like he was a soldier for real. And that's probably why his music was so intense. So just keep that in mind. Mystical was a real soldier in real life. Let's continue.
My heart wasn't in it no more. I stopped shining my shoes. My uniform was wrinkled. Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna last long.
Okay, so you get discharged from the military.
Mm-hmm.
You move back to New Orleans, and you started your rap career.
Right. I had to get a job too. I think I was working at Woolworth. It was a company called Woolworth back in the FW Woolworths. Mm-hmm. I was also working at one of our ex-Saints player. He's no longer here. Rest in peace. Steve Stonebreaker. He had a restaurant. I worked there, and I worked at the Superdome, ushering people, showing them where their seats were, taking them to the elevator, little things like.
So listen, y'all, he got discharged from the military because some homies that he did a demo with, they started popping on the radio. So he lost interest in the military. He was like, you know what, man, I want to go be a rapper. So he stopped shining his shoes. Suit was wrinkly. He didn't want to be there no more. He wanted to be home to make records. So he sacrificed the army to be a rapper. Then he said when he came home from the army, yo, what it do, Judah? Welcome to the live chat, brother. So glad to have you here, Judah J. He said when he left the army, he came home and had to get a regular 9 to 5. So, he had to feel like a failure. You in the army, everybody's happy for you. You going to do something with your life. You get discharged. You come back home talking about you want to be a rapper. You working chump jobs at restaurants. So that really got to eat at you like, man, I need this rap thing to pop or else I ain't going to have no career. The army is out the question. I'm not trying to go to school. He was hell bent on being a rapper. Let's continue, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess there's an outdoor concert at the Treme Center.
Right. That's where it happened.
And a guy named Leroy Precise Edwards was in the audience.
Right.
Saw you perform. You opened up for Run DMC and Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh.
Shows you
Spice
the
One
era.
was there also. Spice One was in that concert
Spice
too.
One. Okay, that's the homie right there from the Bay. Okay, and I guess he saw you perform, and that's when he actually brought you in and gave you a contract.
And the rest was history after that, definitely.
Okay, so here you are. You get your first record contract, and it's with the indie label,
right?
But, still you're sort of on your way,
right?
And then in
I still had them jobs too until I think. Well, the day I met them, Charles Temple was the actual CEO. Leroy Precise Edwards, he was the producer. Well, he was one of the execs too, but he was the producer also. And they had Rob Shaw. It was 3 guys. It was Charles Temple, Rob Shaw, and Leroy Edwards. Sykes the producer, Rob the management, and Chuck, he was the head, the company head. Man, they gave me $500. I quit all them jobs. Fuck it, I'm out. I'm out.
Yo, listen how this man was moving, yo. Like, I need y'all to try to understand what Mystical talking about here. I know you heard it, but we're going to elaborate so we can further understand what's going on here. So he did a concert opening up for Run DMC and a whole bunch of people. So this had to be like late 80s, early 90s, I'm assuming. You get a contract and you opening up for Run DMC and Dougie Fresh and all that. So he opened up and somebody in the audience saw him like, oh, he's talented. We want to sign him up to a label. So, he's desperate. He want to be a rapper regardless. This is his big break. He getting a chance. Then he said he had those 2 jobs, those little chump jobs he was working when he got signed until one of the dudes that he signed to gave him $500 and he quit both of his jobs for $500. This is the patterns of an opportunist. First you in the army. Now you want to be a rapper. You drop out the army. You get 2 jobs. And you pursuing your rap career. You get another opportunity to sign the label. They give you $500. You quit the 2 jobs to be for the label. It's a pattern going on here. Let's continue, y'all, because this still the beginning. It's about to get deeper and deeper. Hold on, Dante373. Welcome to Doc's Daily, bro. You made it just in time because, man, I ain't even got started yet, but we about to continue. Listen, y'all, it's going to get real deep.
First deal was for $500.
He just threw that to me. He just threw that to me because he was like, man, what you doing tomorrow? I said, man, I got to work. I got to woo. I got, He was like, man, here. And gave him some money. Fuck them jobs. And I went to the studio.
Okay, so you start working on your debut album, and then the tragedy occurs.
Right.
In 1994, your sister, Michelle Tyler, was murdered. So, according to reports, she was found in her family home. She was stabbed and strangled to death.
Found her. Yeah, she was. I found her.
You found her.
Thank God it was me and not my little brother and not my mom.
Pause. Let's talk about this. When he started working on his album, his debut album, his sister was murdered and he found the body. Of all people, he found it. Not his mama, not his cousin. He just so happened. Now, tragedies happen, but why do these same type of tragedies always happen when that debut album is about to come out? But it gets deeper. Listen, y'all. Listen.
3 guys. It was Charles Temple, Rob Shaw, and Leroy Edwards. Sykes the producer, Rob the management, and Chuck, he was the head, the company head. Man, they gave me $500. I quit all them jobs. Fuck it, I'm out. I'm out.
Your first deal was for $500.
He just threw that to me. He just threw that to me because he was like, man, what you doing tomorrow? I said, man, I gotta work. I gotta woo. I got, He was like, man, here, and gave him some money. Fuck them jobs, and I went to the studio.
Okay, so you start working on your debut album, and then the tragedy occurs.
Right.
In 1994, your sister, Michelle Tyler, was murdered. So, I mean, according to reports, she was found in her family home. She was stabbed and strangled to death.
Found her. Yeah, she was. I found her.
You found her.
Thank God it was me and not my little brother and not my mom or nobody like that. Somebody that was, strong enough to handle that situation. I found my sister in her bed dead with a mystical promotional t-shirt on saying I'm not that nigga on it, man. On my birthday. And actually she was...
Pause, man. Yo, R.I.P. to his sister. I don't know all the facts, so I'm not about to sit up here and be like, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. I don't know, but by the sounds of things, this sounds very mystical. Because he was living with his mom, his sister was living there too, had other siblings there, so I guess she was home alone with the murderer and nobody was there. And he just so happened to go in her room and she was stabbed up 16 times with his teeth. Not only was it on his birthday, but she had on his promotional t-shirt to promote the album. Sound like some cold-blooded business to me, man. Your sister, while you got on the t-shirt on your birthday, that sound like a birthday present. Real talk. I mean, what is all the coincidences tied into that, man? But I'm not saying y'all gonna have to answer the question what y'all think about it. I don't know what to think about it. I don't want to believe that somebody would do something like that. But let's continue on because it gets deeper. We actually gonna listen to the dude that committed the murder and hear his side of the story. So y'all stay tuned, man. Let me run that little part back real quick.
Working on your debut album, and then the tragedy occurs.
Right.
In 1994, your sister, Michelle Tyler, was murdered. So, I mean, according to reports, she was found in her family home. She was stabbed and strangled to death.
Found her. Yeah, she was.
You found her.
Thank God it was me and not my little brother and not my mom or nobody like that. Somebody that was, strong enough to handle that situation. I found my sister in her bed dead with a mystical promotional t-shirt on saying I'm not that nigga on it, man. On my birthday. And actually she was part of, she had just signed with Big Boy Records too. That's the label that Sykes and Chuck and Rob them had. It was called Big Boy Records. And she was signed as an R&B act and I was signed as a rapper. Because she actually performed with me the day the day Sykes saw me perform at the Tremay Center. She was singing background for me. Because it was my first single called Not That Nigga. And I was saying, I'm not that nigga and I'm not that nigga. She was saying, not that nigga. And, so that's how that went down, man. I found a girl like that, man.
Well, I mean, according to reports, her boyfriend at the time, Damian Neville, was actually the grandson of one of the Neville brothers. He got arrested and charged for that murder, but then he was acquitted.
He actually confessed also. Then took all that back. His family had a lot of influence and,
Look, man, the dudes that he signed with, grandson killed his sister, and he still went on to do the album. And on top of that, the dude got acquitted of the murder. Well, who did it? You know what I'm saying? If he got acquitted and there wasn't no proof that he was there and you the one that found her, sound like a conspiracy to me. Either he did it or he didn't do it. And if he didn't do it, it had to be some type of job for him to get away, stab up somebody. Ain't no fingerprints, ain't no footprints, ain't no none of that. It's just a cold case in somebody's house. Look, I'm not understanding, yo. Hold on, who that up in the live chat? Who is that? Oh, Gage Gore in the building. Yo, what up, man? So glad to see you, brother. We over here having some real conversation. It's not adding up, man. This sounds real weird, yo. Let me run that back just a little bit, and we're gonna continue on.
Performing at the Treme Center. She was singing background for me because it was my first single called "Not That Nigga." And I was saying, "I'm not that nigga, I'm not that nigga." She was saying, "Not that nigga," and so that's how that went down, man. I found a girl like that, man.
Well, I mean, according to reports, her boyfriend at the time, Damien Neville, was actually the grandson of one of the Neville brothers. He got arrested and charged for that murder, but then he was acquitted.
He actually confessed also. Then took all that back. His family had a lot of influence, and we were nobodies at that time. So he wound up getting off of it. So but I was like, I said, okay, that's all right. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But my mom, I don't know, the day I was gonna hit that fucking door and do something and probably never make it back home. My mom, she must have saw it in my eyes. She said, "Where you going, son?" I don't know how the fuck she knew this. She said, "Listen," she said, that's whatever you think you're going to do is not going to bring Michelle back, and then I'll have 2 children gone. You know what I'm saying? One, they're probably going to execute you and everything. Ain't no telling, Mike. Are you going to go to jail for the rest of your life? Just, let God handle it. And, I just took refuge in my music after that. I took refuge in my music.
Wait a minute, Joe. So this dude, you saying for a fact, killed your sister. They arrested him, and he was in jail for the crime. I mean, sentence, all that. And because his family knows somebody or got some influence, he was able to get off of a murder rap. It's not making no sense, yo. Unless this is some secret society, and I don't even like speaking about stuff like that because I don't know. It's a bunch of hocus pocus. And when you speaking about somebody's life, somebody that passed away, you don't want to be with the conspiracies and the hocus pocus and all that BS because this a big deal. This young lady lost her life, and once again, rest in peace to Mystical sister. I'm not trying to make entertainment out of her passing and everything, but is it just me? Or do this not make no sense whatsoever, man? So, without further ado, let's continue on, man, because it's going to reveal itself in due time.
Well, from your point of view, you think he did it?
What you mean? He said he did it. He said he did. I know he did. Absolutely, I know he did it. Yes, of course he did it.
Okay.
Yes.
And he actually did an interview. I remember I saw that he did an audio interview
with the Race
Mix show.
Okay. I never seen that. I never seen that.
Yeah, he did an interview, and he talked about the situation. Said the cops were beating him up, and he admitted to it.
And I can imagine that because back then, man, it was rough. Police were rough at those times. Our city was rough. So I guess that was that's how they had to handle shit back then. I guess I don't know. And after a while, I said,
yo, you got millions of dollars in the bank. You rolling with No Limit. I mean, some of the hardest gangsters in New Orleans. C Murder, Soldier Slim, all these gangsters on your label, and you a No Limit. And this dude walking around free, and you ain't lay a finger on that man. You ain't get no type of justice. You ain't even whoop his ass. He said, my mama seen it in my eyes and said, and I can understand your mama don't want you to, do nothing, but you supposed to be a no limit soldier. Mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And this dude straight slaughtered your sister, and you just talking about, oh, well, his family got a lot of influence, and that was the past, you got to chuck it up, and he's real nonchalant about this whole situation. And I know time heals all wounds, and you have to be the bigger person when it comes to stuff like that, but bruh, I just don't understand, like, what did your sister even do to anybody to deserve that? She was she had a record deal herself. She had on your promotional t-shirt, and that ain't something I can just sweep under the rug. That's not something I'm just gonna let slide. I'm not about to. It ain't gonna happen, man. Especially you got the money and the power and the clout, and hey, man, look, I can't speak for everybody. Thank God I'm not in his shoes. Thank God, both of my sisters, they doing well. I can't imagine what it is that he was going through, but man, all I can do is speculate. But one thing for sure, this just don't sound right to me. Y'all gonna have to let me know how it sound to y'all. All right, let's go.
It took about 7 to 8 years for my birthday to just be my birthday and not the day my sister died and my birthday. Because I woke up on my birthday and I talked to my mom and she was like, son, today is your birthday. I was like, yeah, it is. She said, no, son, today is just your birthday. And it dawned on me. I was like, wow. Not that we forgot about my sister or something, but, time heals things. I felt that little healing happen. So, and also I've been forgiving them for that. I've forgiven them. I mean, we'll never be friends or no shit like that, but I actually called his family and talked to him and, told him, it is what it is, definitely.
Yeah. That must have been.
Wait a minute, yo. He said, okay, his sister passed on his birthday, and it took a while for him to be like, it's just my birthday. That's a hell of a birthday gift. And then he said he called the dude and spoke to him and his family, and it's all good, and the past is the past. What the fuck you talk about when you call somebody that did something so terrible like that? Hey, what's up? This Mystical. I was just, calling to check on y'all and everything. Yeah, man. Everything good with y'all? Yeah, everything good over here, man. I'm still, selling them records and thing. Yeah, I remember what you did to my sister and everything, but, it's all good. Y'all good over there? Okay, I'll just call and say hello. What the fuck? That's sort of like you happy this took place. If you gonna call somebody and chop it up after they did something like that, look, let's continue on, man.
To actually do that.
Well, I mean, after a certain amount of years, a lot of years had passed. A lot of growth and maturity. I had been through my drama and foolishness, so definitely.
Yeah. Well, and then, that the murder of your sister was kind of a recurring theme in a lot of your albums and songs.
Right.
You talked about it quite a number of times. So,
right.
I'm sure
that was
kind of
tough,
helped
man.
with
That was the first time.
healing.
That was the first time that's really close to death, a sibling. Man, that once I found that girl like that and seeing my sister in that kind of situation, I wasn't scared to die no more. After that, I'm like, wow. And then she died horribly, and in her fucking casket at her funeral, she still had a look of pain on her face. I'm like, man, y'all gonna shut that shit. So my mom never saw that. She remembered my sister with a beautiful smiling face, and she didn't even look like herself. And that actually helped me at the funeral because even though I knew it was my sister, I didn't see my sister. So opposed to me seeing my
Yo, what the fuck is he talking about right now, man? That's like a horror movie. That is terrible. He said even when she was in her casket, she had a look of horror on her face. The morgue couldn't even fix the expression on her face. And he talking about that helped me through it because she didn't even look like herself. So that made it easier for me looking at her in the casket because it didn't even look like her. What the hell is going on with this man? I mean, is it okay, hypothetically speaking, what if he did do the sacrifice? Then he sound pretty damn pleased with himself. Look, if that is the case, by the sounds of it, how he talking, if he could do it all over again, he sound like he'd do that shit in a heartbeat. Look, people different, man. Like I said earlier, I would hate to think that people would really do something like that, and I don't want to believe it. So, but man, is it really worth it? I mean, you famous, you on stage, everybody know your name, you know, everybody showing you love. Some people just, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But some people is willing to do anything for fortune and fame, yo. Not saying that's what Mystical did, but sheesh.
Yeah, like looking like she sleep, that would hurt worse. That would truly hurt worse. So
Hold on, run this back.
like she sleep, that would hurt worse. So
He said seeing her looking traumatized in the casket helped him through it, but if he seen her and she looked like she was peacefully sleeping, that would have hurt him worse. Nigga, shouldn't it be the opposite? If she looked like she peacefully sleeping, I would be happy with that. Like, okay, she ain't suffering no more. But if she in her casket looking like she's still suffering, and yo ass somebody, yeah, that's gonna help me sleep at night, nigga. Yo, I get mad weirdo vibes coming from this dude.
I've been forgiving him for that. I've forgiven him. I mean, we'll never be friends or no shit like that, but I actually called his family and talked to him and, told him, it is what it is, definitely.
Yeah. That must have been tough to actually do that.
Well, I mean, after a certain amount of years, a lot of years had passed, a lot of growth and maturity. I had been through my drama and foolishness, so definitely.
Yeah. Well, and then, that the murder of your sister was kind of a recurring theme in a lot of your albums and songs.
Right.
You talked about it quite a number of times. So,
right.
I'm sure
that was
kind of
tough,
helped
man.
with
That
some of
was the
some
first
of the
time.
healing.
That was the first time that's really close to death, a sibling. Man, that once I found that girl like that and seeing my sister in that kind of situation, I wasn't scared to die no more. After that, I'm like, wow. And then she died horribly, and in her fucking casket at her funeral, she still had a look of pain on her face. I'm like, man, y'all gonna shut that shit. So my mom never saw that. She remembered my sister with a beautiful smiling face, and she didn't even look like herself. And that actually helped me at the funeral because even though I knew it was my sister, I didn't see my sister. So opposed to me seeing my sister there like looking like she sleep, that would have hurt worse. That would have truly hurt worse. So, but
Yo, man, my first mystical album was the Unpredictable album, and yo, I love that album from front to back. And he got a song on there called Murderer, where he talking about his sister's death, and he going into detail and talking about, when I catch that bastard, when I get my hands on him, when you took my sister from me and I'ma kill you and all that stuff. And listening to this interview now, he was clout chasing, like trying to get, like that was a part of his storyline to sell records. That was his tragedy, and every rapper got one. The R.I.P. See you when I get there, my homie. I miss my Uncle Charles. Ill Will. Everybody got somebody that they just lost so tragically, and I do this for you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Your life, your passing is what inspired me. Now I'm on the rampage. Like it sound like it's the same old story. That's what it sound like. I'm not saying that's what it is, but man, it don't sound right, and I don't think it ever will.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you had to go through that to actually see the body like that.
For real,
I can't even imagine.
Man, that shit was scary. That shit
like.
felt like a movie. When you're looking at a movie and you find a dead body, where's the killer? Right behind you. So that shit was scary. So I ran upstairs and looked them up. I said, Lord, that's door number 1. What the fuck I'm gonna see behind door number 2 and 3? My little brother and my nephew had a room. My mom had a room. I went to my nephew in the room first, opened the door, cut the light on. I seen them kind of fidget around. I said, okay, they're okay. And I just busted in my mama's room.
Wait. You mean to tell me that she was killed in the house?
In the house.
Other family members in the house at the same time?
Really, really big house. We didn't have a smart metal. Really, really big house. Upstairs and downstairs. Everybody else was upstairs. And Michelle and her boyfriend, they were real private. They had petition clothes. It was, he had room to do it. He definitely had room to do it. He had room to do it. And I know he regretted it. I'm sure he did. I know he did.
Yeah.
Of course he can't say that he did it. But I know he regretted that. I know he did, and still do.
Well, then you.
So they got this big ass mansion in New Orleans to where you can't hear shit. I mean, her room is like way down one of their halls, and the family was just so spread out to where nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Ain't nobody had no funny vibes. Ain't nobody feeling suspicious. Ain't none of that. On his birthday, look, anything is possible, y'all. But boy, I tell you, this just really don't sit right with me. Now the past is the past, and what happened happened, and whoever however the story go, they gonna get they just due in due time. But I can talk about Jennifer Hudson. I can go down the list. I can really go there with y'all. But from what y'all just heard, y'all gonna have to let me know. And you probably asking why? Why do you care? Why do you want to know? The reason why I want to know is because I really don't want to believe that my heroes, people I grew up to, listening to, people I admire, is some goddamn demons. And if they are, you can't blame a Lil Uzi and Lil Nas X and all these people coming out with it because they not the first. This is something that's been going on for a long time. I don't want to believe that these secret societies and stuff like that exist and these people is straight up evil because you want to save that for the horror movies and the Freddy Kruegers and shit. You want that to be make believe. But if this is a reality, my advice for everybody is turn the radios off. If that's what they got to do to get your attention so they can be a superstar, look, don't even idolize these celebrities like that. Because if they ain't right and you condoning it, you guilty by default. Now, I ain't telling you to be a nun or not to listen to no music, period. But honestly, what is the music really doing for anybody? If the music is corrupting people, then it got to come from a corrupt source. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of these artists is very, very corrupt. And if they willing to do all that for fortune and fame, man, I can't rock with you no more. And I love Mystical, man. The music, I grew up listening to the music, but after hearing him talk, and he just so nonchalant about everything. First of all, I wouldn't even want to talk about it, let alone go into details. But he just so, I don't know. Everybody different. I can't judge that man, but it ain't even about how I feel about it. It's about how y'all feel about it. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat real quick. Y'all stay tuned. I gotta holler at my people in the chat and see what y'all talking about. Cause yeah, this is sad, man. I just don't understand what is really going on right now. We got 49 people up in the building. Ain't nobody hit the like button, but if you decide to hit the like button, I would appreciate it. If not, then thank you for tuning in. We got Dante in the building. He said, "Who's the real killer?" Bro, we trying to figure that out tonight. I'm about to play the dude that allegedly did the killing and see what he had to say about it when I get done looking at these comments. My wifey, bad girl Marie said, "I believe he didn't do it, but he knew about it." Yo, that's what it sounded like to me too, my love. Judah said, "How do you know that man was set up and they told him we gonna get you off?" Man, it sounds like that too. It's a possibility because he was convicted of the murder. He went to jail, and Mystical talking about, man, he know people that know people, so he wound up getting off on the murder. Man, it don't work like that. If you killed somebody and you in jail for the murder, ain't no way you gonna be able to get off. Cookie Dough said, "I understand you, Sean. It don't look right." And you from New Orleans, so I'm surprised you ain't heard no stories about it. Judah said, "I don't care how big a house is, you're gonna hear a fight or screams." Bruh, your house wasn't that big to where you ain't hear nothing. And everybody was asleep and this woman getting stabbed up and she getting murdered. And where was you? And you just so happened to creep in there. Or you come in her bedroom and she in there supposed to be in there with her boyfriend. What was you going in there for? And she had on your promotional t-shirt on your birthday. Like, if that don't say sacrifice, I don't know what it say. Judah said, I read that already. Bad Girl Marie said, they selling souls. That's why they be miserable and sad, depressed, and do all types of surgeries to make them feel better, and they on drugs. And Mystical, for example, been in and out of jail. And I was thinking, Why? How come Mystical can't catch a break? Like right when his album was getting ready to pop off, he went to jail for a rape or something like that. Then he came home and went back to jail. So he been having a streak of bad luck. I mean, people do have bad luck, but Mystical situation is a little different. Gage Gore said, if you sleep, there's a chance you don't hear it though. Just a chance. Man, look, we're about to we're about to get into it. Cookie Dough said, I heard some things. Yo, if you don't mind elaborating a little bit, then we would love that. So, yo, let's listen to what Mystical had to say. And then we're gonna get into the interview with a dude that allegedly did the murder and see what he had to say. So here we go, y'all.
Right.
Mystical.
Right.
Hold on.
I ran upstairs and looked them up. I said, Lord, that's door number one. What the fuck I'm gonna see behind door number 2 and 3? I had my little brother, my nephew had a room. My mom had a room. I went in my nephew's room first, opened the door, cut the light on. I seen them kind of fidget around. I said, okay, they're okay. And I just busted in my mama's room.
Wait. You mean to tell me that she was killed in the house?
In the house.
Other family members in the house at the same time?
Really, really big house. We didn't have a smart matter. Really, really big house. Upstairs and downstairs. Everybody else was upstairs. And Michelle and her boyfriend, they were real private. They had petition clothes. It was, he had room to do it. He definitely had room to do it.
Wait a minute. He said they had a really big house upstairs and downstairs. And she was with her boyfriend and they was real private and they had petitions. Nigga, if y'all got a big ass house like that, why is they in the corner with some petitions up? It sounded like it was a really, really small house. If you got to put up petitions to get some goddamn privacy, what the fuck? The house was so big, everybody was spread out and her boyfriend was behind the petitions. So they was downstairs in the kitchen with the petitions. Look, man, let me listen to what he's saying, man.
Myself, and that actually helped me at the funeral because police were, so my mom never saw that. She remembered my sister with a beautiful smile, and I just busted in my mama's room.
Wait. You mean to tell me that she was killed in the house?
In the house.
Other family members in the house at the same time?
Really, really big house. We didn't have a smart matter. Really, really big house. Upstairs and downstairs. Everybody else was upstairs. And Michelle and her boyfriend, they were real private. They had petition clothes. It was, he had room to do it. He definitely had room to do it. He had room to do it.
He did it behind the petition, y'all. And ain't nobody hear shit. Because they was upstairs. Everybody was asleep on his birthday. Ain't they supposed to be okay? It must have been late at night. Y'all done did the happy birthday, cakes, balloons, pizza, all of that. They go behind the petitions. He commit the craziest murder. Was he on drugs? Was they arguing before the goddamn killing? So he was just a smooth fucking criminal. He ain't say nothing. She ain't say nothing. They wasn't fighting. Ain't nobody was listening. What they arguing about? Oh, he big mad. What did she say this time? What y'all in there cutting up for? Your mama ain't come down there. Y'all gonna have to take that out my house. So he just all of a sudden, no argument, no nothing, stabbed her up 20-something times and ain't nobody heard shit. Mystical. I don't believe that, bro. I really don't.
And I know he regretted it. I'm sure he did. I know he did. Yeah. Of course he can't say that he did it. But I know he regretted that. I know he did, and still do.
Well, then your debut album comes out. Mm-hmm. Self-titled.
Right.
Mystical.
Right.
And like you said, your sister's on one of the songs.
Right.
And the album comes out. And how does that first album do?
Very successful. Locally, I sold over 100,000 units, and that got the attention of the major labels. And Jive, they came down and got me after that. Yeah, and worked the deal out with me.
Okay, so then you signed to Jive.
Right.
Now, how does it feel? And Jive is still one of the biggest labels out there.
Right.
How did it feel to be this kid who's grown up in New Orleans and now you've signed with one of the biggest record labels in the world?
I felt like you could.
Look, man. His sister was on the album. I wouldn't even want to do it no more. Especially people at the label had something to do with her passing, the dude that did it, like I said earlier, was the label owner's grandson. So y'all don't, we ain't got nothing to talk. I'm not signing. I'm not trying to do no music with y'all, man. Your grandson did my sister in. Nah, I'm gonna take my talent somewhere else, man. I can't even rock with y'all no more. That's like if you working somewhere, you and your sister working at Arby's, and the manager dunk your sister head in a deep fryer and she die, and you show up to work the next day talking about, man, I'm trying to get that promotion. The fuck? It sounds like you sacrificed your sister to get a damn promotion. If that was the scenario. But you know what? I'm just speculating. Mystical. I'm not confirming anything because I don't know. But like I keep saying, it damn sure don't sound right. Because if anybody at the label has something to do with my sister passing, and then he got off, it don't sound right, man.
Now, Lord, I did it. I made it. And the deal wasn't. I didn't get anything but like a.
Your sister's on one of the songs,
Right.
And the album comes out. And how does that first album do?
Very successful. Locally, I sold over 100,000 units, and that got the attention of the major labels. And Jive, they came down and got me after that. And worked the deal out with me.
Okay, so then you signed to Jive.
Right.
Now, how does it feel? And Jive is still one of the biggest labels out there.
Right.
How did it feel to be this kid who's grown up in New Orleans and now you've signed with one of the biggest record labels in the world?
I felt like you could take me now, Lord. I did it. I made it. And the deal wasn't. I didn't get anything but like $100,000. Even though the deal was for 500, my cut was 100,000. Man, I felt like a gazillionaire. Until that third month, I had spent that shit. I'm rich. I'm balling on your bitches. Said 3 months. Said, yeah, let me hold something. Let me hold something.
Wow. Got the deal and blew all the money just as fast as he got the money, and he laughing about it. After your sister done passed away, you ain't got no focus. You not trying to get no revenge. You just out here. But some people just built like that. But you know what? That's Negro here nor there. Now we heard what Mystical had to say. Very sad indeed. But now we're about to go ahead and get into what the dude that allegedly killed his sister had to say about the whole situation. Judah said there's a chance the government did too. They have trains evil motherfuckers. You just never know, man. But I don't know for sure. So, this is just conversation we have, and this is just simply conversation. Let's get into the interview with the alleged killer. His name is Damian Neville. Damian Neville, aka Lord Nexus. This dude sound like a damn demon. Here we go. Let's listen.
At one point in time, you were falsely accused of murder.
Right.
You care to talk a little bit about that situation and what went down with the police?
Yeah, it's all good, man. Like I said, and first let me put it out there that, not only was I kind of like, involved in that shit, but I was using drugs at the time too. You know what I mean? If you got in your possession just a plethora of drugs, of course, as a youth, I was like 19, 20, 21 or some shit like that. I've used that shit. I loved it. It was the shit. But it had my mind framed to a point where I didn't give a shit about nothing else except that money and getting high. You know what I'm saying? Pushing that shit. So to kind of give you a little bit on the police shit, man, like I said, a lot of this shit is touchy, but a lot of the people have been either convicted of some shit or dead or in jail for life. So we ain't dropping no names, but there was a situation, man, where I didn't know that I was dealing with a police officer until I got arrested and went to jail and saw the dude who just dropped me 280 pounds of weed. And he was like, oh shit, hold up, what have you done? I got it. And he called somebody and they sent the money and they got me out. You know what I'm saying? It was just like out.
Yo, what the fuck is he talking about, Joe? Like he all over the place. I don't know if he admitting that he. Let me run because by the sounds of it, he's saying that he was in jail and he ran into somebody that he was hustling for, and they was like, "Oh, what he in here for?" And they told him what he was in there for, and the dude broke off the bread and got him out of the situation. I ain't know it worked like that with murders. You not just about to drop no stacks and get off on a murder charge and go free like ain't nothing happened. Like that don't make no sense. But we gonna keep listening, y'all. Let's go.
Like, fuck. Okay. You know, I mean, I had no clue this dude. I was in the fucking precinct being booked. And he just happened to pass and say, hold up, what he done? You know, and he paid, you know, he called whoever he called and they paid my bond and got me out. You know what I'm saying? And I never heard another situation, another peep about that particular situation.
So he was getting booked. Somebody was just so happened to be at the police station and was like, "Oh, what he do? What he in here for?" And they told him, and he paid the bail, and he ain't hear nothing. The court ain't called him back. He ain't have no scheduling trial, no nothing. He just got off of a murder rap. Ain't get no letters, no nothing. You just home free. They forgot about it. They dropped it. Yo, it sound like some inner workings, some other shit, man. That's what it sound like to me.
To go a little further, with that said, when shit really got crazy was, you know, my girl was killed. And I didn't, like I said, I knew from the arrest that this dude was the police now. So now I'm dealing with this cat. And some shit went on, man. And you know, I fuck around and took some shit that I wasn't supposed to take because of I ain't going to say a disagreement. It was because of you know, he handled me bad. You know what I'm saying? We was in a predicament where we was in a parking lot with a lot of people, and he's sitting in this badass whip with this chick, and you know, I'm going to the vehicle saying, "Man, come on, look, make the drop. It's not the place for this shit." And he telling me, "Motherfucker, fuck that, you know, this and that. You working for me, da da da." So, you know, after a couple of times insulting my manhood and integrity and talking to me stupid in front of this female, I just got pissed and said, "Fuck that," and did some shit and took some shit that didn't belong to me. I mean, some of it was supposed to be for me, but I mean, when I got the bag, I was
Yo, he all over the place. I don't know what this dude talking about. Is he talking about the murder? We just gonna give him a chance. But if he keep on dancing with all this goofy stuff, man, we just gonna keep it moving. But let's give him a chance, y'all. Let's give him a chance to see what he's talking about.
oh shit. I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I really didn't understand the magnitude of the situation because I was just focused on my world. You know what I'm saying? I didn't give a shit about who else was involved or whatever. But once you see that big picture, you know that's that oh shit moment. Like I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just crazy because I had no clue the amount of police who was involved with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the corruption is deep, man. And I mean, it was all about the dollar, of course. You know, that's all it was about. They didn't give a shit about nothing else. It was money.
Hold on, let me open up.
You know,
Yo, for everybody that know the phone number, I'm about to open up the phone lines. I know somebody just called. I didn't realize that the phone lines wasn't open, so I'm gonna open up the phone lines real quick. And if you want to call in and elaborate on the situation, the phone lines is open right now, so you can feel free to do so. Let's continue on with what this guy's talking about, man.
that's it. That's it. That's it, man. I mean, you know, and that's the case with a lot of shit to these days. Even you know, when you look around at the political situation, it's not they don't give a shit about the people. I mean, if they do, they fooled me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody flying in jets and all this old different shit, while the people who paying all the money and paying taxes 3-4 times
All
over,
right, this nigga
the
ain't
shit they
talking
work
about
for,
shit.
of what happened. So once I saw what happened on this report that he was telling me, the shit didn't link up because they didn't even know what the crime scene was like because they was fresh on the, they didn't even stay there and invest.
Hold on,
And
y'all.
then they start spilling over the information to me, telling me purchase. So she wasn't even at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. We getting somewhere
Then
now.
somewhere along the line, they went to asking me about the situation.
All right, hold on, y'all.
Now they didn't ask me shit about the girl until I fucking denied having the dope.
Uh
Man,
oh.
until they just whipped me in the car and took me off. Now, and it goes so many different directions. What happened was when I got shit, you know what I'm saying?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, because initially, didn't they were trying to charge you.
Well, yeah, they did actually. They did actually charge me with the murder because
Uh oh,
the
hold
police,
on.
man, that shit is like historical. They even have a few documentaries on the corruption of police in New Orleans.
All right,
I've
here we
seen a
go.
few,
We there
and I
now.
was like,
All right,
God
yeah.
damn, I was
Matter
writing
of
a list
fact,
of that shit.
pause this. I do apologize. I was just trying to get the information on point for y'all. So we here at the part where he about to start talking about the murder. Mind you, we listening to the dude that allegedly killed Mystical's sister. He's about to give his take now. We listened to what Mystical had to say at first, but now we about to listen to what this guy got to say. So, yo, 79 people, only 27 people hit the like button. Y'all must don't really like me like that. But Amanda Silva, thank you for joining the live chat, my sister. So blessed to have you here. So let's go on and get into this news, man. He about to start talking about it right now.
You know what I'm saying? But glad I
Yeah.
didn't get caught up to the point where I had to go, sit down for 40 years for somebody else's shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because initially, didn't they were trying to charge you.
Well,
You,
yeah, they
you
did
know,
actually. They did actually charge me with the murder because it was like I said once again, the shit is so crazy and it goes so many different directions. What happened was when I got to the location of the crime scene, my mother called me and said, "Come home now." And I was like, "Shit, your house or mine?" And she was like, "Your house, uptown." So I was like, "All right." So, when I went, everybody was standing outside, and I saw everybody except for my girl. And so I kind of put it together. You can look at the scene and kind of see if she ain't there, then something done fucking happened. So I jump out the vehicle and try to run to the door. They tackled me. So the two officers that tackled me, they took me into they just whipped me in the car and took me off. Now I had no clue that these dudes was a part of whatever the fuck they was a part of. You know what I'm saying? So when I get to the interrogation office, they handcuff me to the table. They fucking I'm high as fuck. I'm high as fuck. I was coked out. I've been snorting coke and shit and smoking blunts and dirty blunts and shit. But I was still aware of my surroundings. But so they took me in there, they handcuffed me to the table and went to telling me, the first thing they asked me was, "Where is the dope?" Now they didn't ask me shit about the girl until I fucking denied having the dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, this sound like an inside job. If this is what he think I'm saying, that he showed up to the crime scene where Mystical's sister was killed. They snatched him up, took him to the precinct and was like, yo, where the dope at? So somebody playing games. This sounds like some inside. Like he keeps saying it's corrupt and the system is corrupt and I got caught up in the situation. But I'm just going off of what it sounds like to me. So we gonna keep on listening, y'all. Yo, and let me know what y'all feel about this in the comment section. Let's continue on.
I don't know. They beat me up, punching me in my face, kicking me in my fucking chest. My fucking face swole up. I could barely talk. They beat the shit out. But they had me in there for 8 hours, beating my ass, all behind the drugs. And then somewhere along the line, they went to asking me about the situation. And I was like, man, I ain't do that shit. And they was like, pop, pop, beating the piss out of me. Because I really had no clue to what the fuck was going on until they said something to me, because I still had no clue. Because at the first point, my girl was riding around with my cousin in a brand new Mercedes that her husband had just purchased. So she wasn't even at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't even supposed to be home. So I had no clue really of what the fuck was going on, but I still was kind of curious because why everybody else here, and But anyway, so they started whipping my ass, they beat me up and shit, asking me what a dope, and then they started telling me situations like, you did this, huh? And I was like, no, I ain't do it. Ah! And they choked me out and had a gun to my head and all this old shit and say, you fucking did it. And me, as a 20-something-year-old, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm trying to live. These motherfuckers want to hear something. I'm going to tell them what they want to hear. I say, okay, yeah, all right. I done it. And they said, well, how you did it? And I said, man, I don't fucking know. And bop, they hit me again. And then they start spilling over the information to me, telling me, what happened or what they thought happened. And for me to repeat the shit. So they said, you did it like this, huh? And I just repeated what the fuck they said. You know what I'm saying? And for 8 hours later, I go and they put me on the 10th floor trying to say I was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? After they whipped my ass and trying to find out what the dope was, when I didn't give it up, they just pinned me to the fucking murder. And that shit for me was crazy because once I came down and was in a clear state of mind, I was like, oh, fuck, what the fuck I'd have done? And then my lawyer came to me, and he was like, listen. He looked at me first, and he took pictures, and he was like, oh, shit, they think, this and that. And so I was like, bruh. I said, man, he said, he asked me, did I do it? And I said, man, no, I didn't. I said, listen, they beat the shit out of me. They fucking made me say certain shit. So with that said, he produced a report of what happened. So once I saw what happened on this report that he was telling me, the shit didn't link up because they didn't even know what the crime scene was like because they was fresh on the, they didn't even stay there and investigate or whatever and get the whole gist of the story. So when I found out, I'm like, God damn, all this shit, so my story didn't match up with what the fuck they made me say. You know what I'm saying? So for me, after all of that shit and we going to trial and shit, man, I thought I was done for because you got police involved, you got all kind of shit happening. So I just thought I was done. I was like, fuck, man, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life for some shit.
Yo, man. What it sound like, they set this man up because they say he killed Mystikal's sister, but he got acquitted. He ain't do no time. He ain't in jail for that. He's saying that it has something to do with some crooked police trying to get some dope off of him, like some kill two birds with one stone type of situation. And Mystical talking about, oh, he got off because of some people he know that's in higher places. That's the reason why he ain't doing no time for it, because he know people that know people and they got him off. So his side of the story and what Mystical is saying coincide with each other, but when you talking about the music industry, now I don't know nothing for no facts. I'm just going off of what I'm hearing, man. It's some creepy shit, yo. It's some something going on to where Mystical benefited in the end. Basically, here we go, man.
Dude, I say all the different shit I've done in my life and kind of got away with for street shit. And I get popped for something like this, some shit I did do, and I'm about to go to penitentiary for this. No, it's not about to happen. So my lawyer, they worked shit out, and we went on ahead and started getting the fucking case together because I wasn't home. My fucking, they found a couple of different fibers of hair and different shit on the scene, and the way they described the crime, man, I'd have been covered in fucking blood.
Yo, facts. They talking about they ain't had no DNA. How you stab up somebody 20-something times and they ain't got no evidence that you did it. They ain't recovering no bloody shoes, no bloody clothes, no DNA, no nothing. Talking about he massacred this one. Mystical talking about he the one that found the body. He found her stabbed up all them time. Yo, somebody told me, and I don't believe this, but they said it's a possibility that Mystical, I ain't even gonna say it, because that's that man's sister. But man, I swear to you, this is all jacked up. And I know Mystical not trending or nothing, you probably like, why is we talking about Mystical? Why is he making a live stream about Mystical sisters, man? People been hitting me up and they put me on to the Vlad TV interview. And I'm like, no, man, I don't think people do that. I don't think that's real. But listen to this, man, it's probably a possibility. That's why the question for y'all in the comment section is, do you believe rappers make sacrifices for fame? I don't want to believe it. I'm not saying he definitely did or nothing, but man, it sure sounds like some conspiracy theory shit is going on with this particular situation. And it's not just Mystical. I mean, it's plenty of rappers, plenty of celebrities that have these type of weird situations that happen with their family. Just somebody out of the blue go crazy and want to kill up everybody. And next thing you know, you go on to have a successful music career, or you're not even making music. You just good financially now after your family done passed away or somebody close to you passed away, man. But matter of fact, Vlad got an interview with Gorilla Black talking about right before his album came out, his girlfriend got killed. Look, I can go on and on and on, but let me run this back a little bit and I'm going to let this man speak. Here we go, man.
I say all the different shit I've done in my life and you know, kind of got away with for street shit. And I get popped to something like this, some shit I did do, and I'm about to go to penitentiary for this. No, it's not about to happen. So my lawyer, you know, they worked shit out, and we went on ahead and started getting the fucking case together because I wasn't home. My fucking, you know, they found a couple of different fibers of hair and different shit on the scene, you know, and the way they described the crime, man, I'd have been covered in fucking blood. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So they took me straight to the police station. So for me, man, look, this is a big fucking deal. So you can understand how many throughout the, you know, history of my life, all those years of walking around with, you know, holding on to some shit that I didn't do and never spoke on it and was just living my life, but still running across situations where people were saying, "Oh, that's that motherfucker who did this." You know what I'm saying? Because I never spoke on it. So they was fed one-sided information. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I found not guilty. They didn't have no fucking evidence. They didn't have nothing on me because I wasn't even home. I was somewhere else doing some other shit. So
you had a rock solid alibi then?
Well, yeah, the alibi.
Mystical talking about he did it. He definitely did it. He admitted that he did it. Yeah, he the one that did it. Well, you ain't never think about retaliating or nothing. No, I ain't gonna do that. I even called him, spoke with his family. You know, see, I forgive and forget. Just forgive and forget. Nigga, that ain't something that you just forgive and forget. And if you do, bruh, God bless you. You ain't got no business being no gangster rapper. If you willing to forgive and forget, and you talking about you would bust somebody head for murder, and you willing to kill for a Silk the Shocker, but you ain't trying to do nothing to the man that slaughtered your sister, you need to be in the studio with Kirk Franklin and doing Christian raps. Your whole career, you ain't had no business talking about no soldiers on the tank and no grenades or none of that shit. Forgive and forget. This, yo, by the sounds of it, this dude was set up. I don't know all the facts, but if he got off and they ain't have no evidence and he not sitting in jail for something he allegedly did, then it only makes sense to me that he ain't do that. And Mystical talking about it was in his mama's house and he found the body. You the closest one to the murder. The first responder, the first person there, and I ain't saying he, you know, that's his sister. R.I.P. to her and everything, but bruh, I just can't call it, man. I can't call it. Let me finish listening to him, yo. We got a lot of people in here. Ain't nobody hit the like button, but you know, y'all could hate me, but I still love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. We about to get back into the interview, man.
Rock solid, but if I would have told them actually what I was doing, they probably would have arrested me for that shit. But it was a rock solid alibi because people saw me and other people knew that I wasn't fucking home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't even there. Even the brother, even he, you know, he came downstairs and he said I wasn't there. But then when it got to the courtroom, he did something different. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of weird to me because First he was in my corner, and then next thing I know, he get in the courtroom and start saying some other shit.
He talking about Mystical. He said the brother came downstairs and found it like that, and he said I wasn't there. And Mystical was on his side at first, but then when they got in the courtroom, he started saying some other shit. Mind you, his sister was killed on his birthday wearing his promotional t-shirt for his up and coming album. Man, hold on, y'all. Let me run that back a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even there. Even the brother, even he came downstairs and he said I wasn't there. But then when it got to the courtroom, he did something different. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of weird to me because first he was in my corner, and then next thing I know, he get in the courtroom and start saying some other shit. But I understand because this your people, and I get it. I'm not mad with that dude or nothing. I ain't got no problems with you. Regardless of what you have against me, I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to do none of that. But it just tripped me out to see that in the courtroom that you went another way after, what was said. And I wouldn't do no shit like this.
So her brother even said that you weren't there. So that,
he said a bunch of shit. He said I wasn't there. He said a lot of stuff. But like I said, I understand because this is touching, man. This is family. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what a man gonna do or say when he when somebody you love has been touched like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't have no animosity toward him. You did a bunch of shit, said a bunch of shit. I ain't got no problem with that. You did what you did. I understand. You had to get your anger out. It is what it is. But me, myself, personally, I would never make a record or a lot of people saying you should come back with a diss record and say this and say that. I'm not going to profit off of somebody's demise. That's not my shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My integrity, my morals, my ethics are brought up the right way, even though I took a wrong path. I'm not going to do that. So that was always out of the books for me. Yeah, no, man, no doubt, because that was never on the plate, on the table for me. I'm not going to come back saying what I'm going to do or what's this and that. I'm not doing that. That's, this G shit. I'm not no damn plastic rapper or plastic.
Yo, man, this dude that's talking, now I don't know all the proof, but he's saying a lot of real stuff. To be walking the streets and not behind bars for something that they alleged that he did. Now, who benefited in this whole situation out of everybody involved? Yo, answer. Y'all gonna have to answer the question for me, man, because by the sounds of it, now, hypothetically speaking, if it was a sacrifice, then it's a clean sacrifice. Nobody went to jail. It's just water under the bridge. And that's how Mystical be talking. It's water under the bridge now. It's the past. What's done was done. It's a new day. I don't forgave him and everything. If he telling you he ain't do it, and you got once upon a time, you had all the money in the world, going platinum. You couldn't hire no experts, no forensic people. You couldn't tell Master P like, yo, man, we gotta solve this murder case. That should have been the journey of your life. You wasn't on Crime Stoppers or none of that. You wasn't seeking no justice for your sister. It's just what's done is done, and we gonna keep it moving. That's some cold-blooded business if that's the case. But like I said, that's how I look at it. And thank God I ain't never been in no situation like that with my family to really be speaking on it. And God forbid something terrible like that happens. So I can't, everybody different. Maybe Mystical just deal with pain differently. Sometimes you gotta, I don't know. It just don't sound right to me. Let me look in the comment section and see if how y'all feel about it, because I'm not trying to judge nobody. The homie Judah is leaving messages, man. Thank God for him. Judah said, just like they set Jennifer Hudson's sister boyfriend up. I'm glad you said that. It's always the boyfriend of a family member that did it. That's believable to the core. You somebody dating some thug ass dude, then we could easily pin it on him. He just went crazy one night and came over. Same thing. Yo, bruh, Judah, I'm feeling you. It's the same scenario with Jennifer Hudson. Out of the blue, he just snapped before she made it to the mainstream. And then he in jail and everybody wondering what really happened. You know what I'm saying? But that's Negro here nor there. He said, Judah said Megan mother died right before she released her first album, Facts. And everybody was speculating about that too. Like, this not adding up. Right before she dropped her album, her mother passed away. I can go down the list when it comes to these celebrities, man. So let's get back to homie's interview.
MC, this truth for me. So if I speak it, I'm gonna do it. If I make a threat, I'm not gonna. So that's some shit that I'm not into. You know what I'm saying? And I had very much compassion. I even reached out a couple of times to try to, talk with the family and let them know, look, man, this wasn't me. I didn't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But
you ever find the killers?
Nah, well, I'm gonna tell you like this: when I come home, anybody I felt like had something to do with it, it was some street court shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just some street shit. But I mean, that's a thing that for me too is still kind of fucked up. It's like they never really said, they never found somebody to charge the shit. You dig? Because like I said, it was just so much you can't really. I didn't even know where to look. But if I felt like somebody had something to do with the shit, I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And there was just too many layers to the shit, man. You got police, you got how many people they was trying to protect? You know what I'm saying? You had lawyers and judges and everything who was all corrupt in that whole little circle. And when I would tell people that shit, they were like, "Oh, you tripping and this and that, you crazy and whatever." But man, this shit was layers. It wasn't just about me. This shit was bigger than me. So look, while I'm in court, like I was in court, bro, facing this shit. Right? Matter of fact, I was on trial the same time OJ was on trial, and so I had to watch that and then watch myself. I'm like, damn, they put OJ on, then they put me on. And I'm like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? And so during court, there's some weird looking fellas in there that I knew wasn't a part of his side of the family or my side of the family. They were just dudes in there, and they would just sit there and look. So every time I looked to the back, a motherfucker be, looking at me just sitting there, and when I say weird looking dudes, I'm talking about, some not some just street shit. I'm talking about some mafia looking type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or lynchman type
shit.
Mafia's
bigot.
Yo, man, this sound like some secret society shit, yo. He like, it's bigger than what's going on with me. He talking about the judges and the lawyers and, it was on some higher power shit. And even in the courtroom, it was some weird people up in there just staring at him like, yo, I feel funny for even talking about this, man. And Mystical, go get that nigga. I'm not that nigga to fuck with. I go to the grocery store, next thing you know, I hit the man right chill. Like, oh shit, somebody said you was looking for me. Yo, Mystical, I don't want no smoke. We just having conversations, man. I ain't say you did anything. I'm not convicting you. I'm not trying to steer people to believe that you would do something like this. If anything, I'm trying to, clear your name because everybody looking at you with the side eye right now. So y'all gonna have to answer the question on the screen. Do y'all believe that these rappers would do something like that? Because I don't want to believe it. So I don't believe it. I don't believe Mystical did it, but I mean, who else got access to the house? Homie said he wasn't there. He wasn't at the house. He ain't had no blood on his t-shirts. He showed up to the scene like, okay, what the hell going on over here? And they hauled him off like, oh, why would you show back up to the scene if you committed the murder? He show up like, what the hell going on? Y'all okay? What happened up in there? Mystical, you good? Big Mama, what happened? Next thing you know, the police snatch him up like, oh, there we go. Yo, man, I'm gonna keep listening to what homie got to say, man.
Orleans, man, yeah.
Man, and you got to realize with the police and with all this shit going on, you don't know who is who. So for me to try to say I could have an idea of who did it, man, them people gonna kill. I even got threat letters to say if you say any fucking thing about the drugs, about anything, we gonna kill your fucking family.
Oh.
They named family members. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So of course I'm gonna shut the fuck up and take the charge. I'm not gonna jeopardize nobody
I
else.
can
You know?
see why. Not to cut you off, Damien, but I can
Yeah.
see why you've been carrying this around because it's like you said, it's so complex. You had the cops beat you. You had, put a gun to your head, force a false confession out of you, try you up for murder. I mean, how did you, you know what I'm saying, get through all this? And not to mention losing a girlfriend
Right,
to murder.
right. Man, listen, the whole time I was in jail, I mean, I was just looking to wake up from a fucking dream, bro. Because there was no way. We got the #1 record. We #1 in Japan. We had a record in Japan over a lot of big artists at the time. There was no way I looked at my life that it would take that turn. You know what I'm saying? And so for me in jail, bro, I just was like, fuck. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And once we went to trial and they reviewed all the evidence and the jury went in and they came back without a doubt not guilty. I had to move away from the city, and not just I'm gonna say not just because of the family, but because of all of the other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get the fuck, man. So I went moved to Mississippi for a little while just to get out of the city because I knew that some other shit was gonna go on. And like I'm saying, it wasn't even about retaliation for her. It was about the other shit because
he said that while he was in jail, the label had the #1 song in the country. Mind you, this the same label that Mystical was signed to when all of this happened. So he in jail and Mystical out there blowing up, and he like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this? Like, what's really happening here? Like, there's some weird ass stuff going on, and I'm in the middle of it, and eventually they let him out. Come on, man.
some shit from some powerful motherfuckers. So I had to jet. You know what I'm saying? And I still and the trip part is when I did jet, motherfuckers still found me and was sending messages and that's beyond reachable. And some of the shit, like I said, I'm really trying to skate around a bunch of shit because I don't want no shit to come back from that. Because like I said, some of the people are still moving around. I don't know where the fuck they at. But some of the people are dead in jail and some of the people are still on the police force. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
who knows what's going to even come from this conversation we having right now? I mean, they might have a lot of shit come out behind this, but
Well, I hope nothing bad like that happens,
well, yeah,
man.
no
Because
physical shit.
it's always very touchy, man, when you're dealing with say murder and all this corruption and complexity involved. But yeah, the cops, man. Unfortunately, they do that to so many people. I interviewed on another show somebody from the Innocence Project, and they were telling us the statistics of people getting put in jail and death row. I mean, they put people to death. You know what I'm saying? You could have very well easily been put to death. How long?
Yo, there's some serious business, man. I believe homie. I just do. I believe that he keeping it a buck and he telling the truth about everything that happened, yo. So, I mean, I don't see why he would lie, but people do lie. I just don't see him lying about the situation. I think that he's keeping it a buck. So y'all gonna have to let me know.
Neville stated that he was not even at the scene. He even quoted things.
Okay, listen to this, y'all.
In 1994, rapper Mystical's sister, Michelle Tyler, was viciously murdered. Damon Neville was charged and later acquitted with her murder. Neville stated that he was not even at the scene. He even quoted saying that Mystical said he wasn't there either. However, Mystical made a song called Murderer, and he accused Neville of murdering his sister. Mystical even spoke about what he was going to do in revenge to Neville for murdering his sister. In November of 2007, Angela Bryant, 41, Who is the older sister of the fake?
Yo, this the sexiest conspiracy lady I ever seen in my life. Yo, her name is HD Videos. She got that sexy music on the back, baby oil all on her booty. And Mystical made a song called Murderer, to where he said he was gonna do something to Zaddy. On the night of the murder, she got dressed up in a tight little outfit. Who is this bitch? Yo, I'm gonna run it back, but she making me horny. She just making me horny. Yo, I'm about to subscribe to her channel right now. She sound like she got a big old booty. And I ain't trying to be funny because this is a serious situation. But you gotta admit, baby girl, she sound a little too sexy to be giving these conspiracy videos. Is y'all ready to hear about the devil? Yo, Beyonce got a conspiracy theory channel. Y'all listen to this, man.
And he accused Neville of murdering his sister. Mystical even spoke about what he was going to do in revenge to Neville for murdering his sister. In November of 2007, Angela...
Yo, she sound like she giving head while she doing her little podcast. She be like, and Mystical said he was gonna get revenge. And then, yo, finish the job, sister. Get that BJ over with and get back to the news. Every 5 minutes, she do a quick deep throat and get back to the damn news. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to listen to this. Let me run it back a little bit. I do apologize, y'all, but god damn.
saying that Mystical said he wasn't there either. However, Mystical made a song called Murderer, and he accused Neville of murdering his sister. Mystical even spoke about what he was going to do in revenge to Neville for murdering his sister. In November of 2007, Angela Bryant, 41, who is the older sister of the famed producer rapper Mannie Fresh, and she was a mother of 2. She lived in New Orleans and she was found dead in her home due to a gunshot wound. And Mannie Fresh's former partner in the Big Timers, Birdman, stated that he lost his sister that following year in a fatal car crash.
Wait a minute. Did she say Mannie Fresh's baby mama got shot? And then Birdman's sister got killed too the same year before the Big Timers popped off? What the fuck?
Of the famed producer rapper Mannie Fresh.
Hold on.
In November of 2007, Angela Bryant, 41, who is the older sister of the famed producer rapper Mannie Fresh, and she was a mother of 2. She lived in New Orleans and she was found dead in her home due to a gunshot wound. And Mannie Fresh's former partner in the Big Timers, Birdman, stated that he lost his sister that following year in a fatal car crash. So Mystical pleaded guilty to sexual battery and extortion. Back in January 15th of 2004, Mystical was sentenced to 6 years in state prison after he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting his hairstylist. The rapper and 2 bodyguards forced the woman to perform oral sex and accused her of stealing $80,000 in checks. As part of the pleading deal, all 3 pleaded guilty and Mystical
Mystical, I ain't got your money. I'ma do your hair. No, you gonna give me some head all right now. Shake that ass. Now, ain't nothing funny about something like that. But how you gonna get head from a hairstylist? Use your head. Use your head. The fuck? They should have gave him life for that. Oh, dirty bastard.
claimed that the incident was consensual, but the videotape of the incident was later found at his home shortly after the charges were made. Negotiations during that trial held the videotape from being entered as evidence, and Mystical agreed to the plea bargain, and he was offered by the prosecution of avoiding that mandatory life sentence for sexual battery in Louisiana. And so, expecting to receive probation, however, the case took a twist when the judge viewed the tape after sentencing and took into account Mystical's 2 prior arrests for drug and gun possession.
Hold on.
And handed him...
Wait a minute. The judge wasn't supposed to look at the tape, but he just couldn't help himself. The tape was sitting right there on his desk. He like, I just gotta see it. Every 5 minutes, he come back and just stare at the tape like, He put in the tape, shake that ass, but watch yourself. You almost burnt me, bitch. Show me what you're working with. Man, let me just get back to the news, man.
Recommended him into custody to begin serving a 6-year sentence. Immediately, Mystical's bodyguards, Leland Ellis and Versi Carter, also pleaded guilty to sexual battery. Back in August of 2005, while incarcerated on the state sexual battery and extortion charges, Mystical was charged federally with 2 misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns for 1998 and 1999. So this rabbit hole seems to be going mighty.
Said, what? I can't file no taxes in jail. What y'all trying to do to me? Somebody call my lawyer. Can you imagine getting a phone call from Mystical in jail? Like, who this is? If it ain't live, then it ain't me. You be in the visiting room waiting for him to come in. You looking like, damn, where Mystical at? The man right here. Somebody said you was looking for me. What you won't do? What you gonna do?
Deep. Damon Neville claims that he did not kill Mystical's sister. He wasn't even at the house. And once again, Mystical says in the beginning that he wasn't there either. So the big question is, who killed Michelle Tyler? And why? And why was she found in the home where she lived, and her brother Mystical was the one who found her body? These questions still haunt some people until this very day. No one knows. It's such a mystery how a person can walk.
Yo, I'm gonna find this chick and we gonna open up a club together. Club Mystery. She gonna be the hostess. Welcome. Would you like a cup of blood? Oh, so you sacrificed tonight to spend time with us, huh? Welcome to Club Mystery. Go ahead and have a seat, but you better make sure it ain't no razor blades on the seat. Would you like another drink? Here is some blood from the last guest that was here. Have a nice night, and thank y'all for coming to Club Mysteries.
One's home, stabbed their sibling 16 times. No one heard any screams. No one heard any furniture moving.
Yo, she's spitting facts, though. Listen.
That he did not kill Mystical's sister. He wasn't even at the house. And once again, Mystical says in the beginning that he wasn't there either. So the big question is, who killed Michelle Tyler? And why? And why was she found in the home where she lived, and her brother Mystical was the one who found her body? These questions still haunt some people until this very day. No one knows. It's such a mystery how a person can walk into one's home, stab their sibling 16 times. No one heard any screams. No one heard any furniture moving. To stab somebody 16 times is a vicious and brutal attack that should be heard. Screams, blood-curdling screams.
Yo, that's terrible, man. I see what she insinuating, that Mystical could have possibly had something to do with that. I don't want to believe that. I got a 16 for you. Like, no, don't be spitting those 16s around me. I ain't trying to hear none of your raps. This dude, man, I don't know. I don't know, man.
No one just stabs someone 16 times and no one hears anything. I find this very odd. Okay, so once again, guys, Damon Neville claims he didn't do it. So who did it?
Yo, did y'all hear that? The dude in the background, he had an orgasm. He said he didn't do it. So who did it? That nigga said, Yo, whoever you is, lady, you can't be giving head and doing documentaries at the same time. If he didn't do it, who did it? Listen.
No one just stabs someone 16 times and no one hears anything. I find this very odd. Okay, so once again, guys, Damon Neville claims he didn't do it. So who did it?
At one point in time, you were falsely accused of murder. Right. You care to talk a little bit about that situation and what went down with the police?
Oh, she bootlegged as hell. She doing this on the toilet while on the phone. The young lady, you gonna have to work on this.
Fuck that you know, this and that.
Yeah.
I don't play this already. Let me.
It's like you press on the, they fucking deal. And so who knows?
She did her little wiggity whack intro and then she let it ride out with the dude talking about Mystical sister and everything, man. Yo, I said all I had to say. Hold on, Manny Fresh sister really did get murdered. Hold on, listen to this, yo. We're about to get into a couple of more things, but I got to see this first.
System. In Algiers, New Orleans police are investigating a murder. It happened in the 1000 block of Farragut around 7:30 this morning. John Huffman joins us live from our newsroom with more on this. John.
Well, police have a puzzling murder on their hands tonight. A 42-year-old woman killed inside her house while her 2 children were present. The victim is Angela Bryant, who in fact celebrated her 42nd birthday just yesterday. Police found her body on the floor of her Algiers home this morning, shot to death while her husband was out of town on business. Police say she was actually killed last night, sometime before midnight. The couple's 2 children, aged 2 and 7, were found tied up inside the home after spending a terrifying night alone. Their father rushed back to town, grief-stricken at his wife's murder. Sources close to the investigation tell us the house was ransacked as if someone was looking for something specific. Cops say the killer or killers did get away with at least one stolen item.
We know that her car is missing, which was a black 1998 Lexus, is missing. There were 2 children in the house who were not harmed at all. And it's an ongoing investigation.
Shock, disbelief, because the couple that lived in the house seemed to be very nice people.
It has been a particularly rough week for Angela Bryant's husband, Carl, who worked with local rap recording label Cash Money Records. On Tuesday, he was arrested in Tennessee along with 15 other members of rapper Brian Birdman Williams' entourage on charges of marijuana possession. He just bonded out of jail yesterday, hours before his wife was murdered. Liz?
Thanks a lot, John. Police are asking for your help tonight in finding her stolen car.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo. So that's how they do. Look, Birdman, Manny Fresh, I don't want no smoke, man. Cause y'all be doing the most. Yo. Man, look, it's cutthroat city, man. Get involved with them people, man. I don't want to be no rap star. I don't want to be an entertainer, man. If that's what it take, I'm good. Look, I'm grateful for the YouTube videos. If that's where it goes, I ain't trying to. I mean, I feel like you got to pave your own way, man. If you trying to piggyback off of somebody else and you trying to get into something that's already established, 9 times out of 10, you going to get done dirty, man. That's why whatever you want to do in life, make your own lane. Because they could get you involved in any old thing. And you trying to be down, you trying to make it, you trying to be affiliated with these people. It is not worth it, yo. Leave that alone. And even if you want to be in the streets or you out there, man, people in the streets deal with this type of stuff all the time, man. It's a shady world out there. You really have to figure out a way to be your own boss, because it's sickening, man. Now his sister could have passed and he ain't had nothing to do with that. He could have not known. Same thing with Mystical. It could all just be a coincidence and everything, because tragic stuff do happen to people. But the news started off like, man, this is a conspiracy. This is a puzzling ass crime. Like, this don't even make no sense. And all of these murders, how people get away with this type of stuff, man. When it comes to a record label, like they just never find nobody. Like it never happened, you know. So hey, it is what it is, man. You just gotta wish the best for everybody, and hopefully the world ain't as sick as it seems right now. But yeah, I gotta listen to Peaches. This is Soldier Slim's sister. Peaches isn't feeling Master P No Limit Chronicles, speaks on C Murder and Monica. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Matter of fact, we gonna say Peaches for a whole nother video, man. But yeah, there's some sad business show. Mystical, bruh. I hate to believe that you did this stuff, but that's what it's looking like, dog. Matter of fact, I'm about to get out of here. So much love for y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comment section. Cookie Dough said, stuff been going on a long time. I believe it, man. You got to be careful when you're speaking about this type of stuff. Judah said Quentin Tarver was just killed in a car accident. Like I said, bad stuff happened, unfortunately. It's not always a conspiracy, but you just never know sometime, man. Yo, I got so much love for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Docs Daily, where you get your daily news from your boy, Sean Blasey. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Show me some love, and for everybody that joined the chat, I really do appreciate y'all. Everybody that's watching the video, I got love for y'all too. Answer the question in the comment section. That way we can have a full conversation about this. So much love for y'all. I'ma holla at y'all later. Yeah.